Let us be completely honest with each other for a moment. None of us have truly recovered from the sudden, inexplicable death of Sam. If you ask me, the way she was taken from us felt entirely hollow, lacking the emotional weight and logical closure that a character of her magnitude deserved. We watched her survive mob wars, psychotic villains, and impossible odds, only to be written out in a way that left us all scratching our heads and screaming at our television screens. It felt like a massive disservice, not just to the character, but to all of us who have invested decades of our lives into her journey. The lack of a proper explanation has fueled endless speculation. Was there a hidden agenda behind the scenes? Was this a temporary hiatus disguised as a permanent tragedy? The pieces of the puzzle never quite fit together, and that lingering sense of wrongness has haunted the canvas ever since her supposed demise. But in the world of daytime drama, a body in the ground does not always mean the story is over. Sometimes it is merely the prologue to a much darker, far more intricate narrative. Now, we have official confirmation that Serena is making her highly anticipated return to Port Charles later this summer. On the surface, one might assume this is a simple family visit, a chance to reconnect with her roots and check in on the legacy family that has anchored this town for generations. But if you have been watching this show as long as I have, you know that timing is everything. Characters like Serena do not just pop back into town to grab a coffee at the local hotel and reminisce about the good old days. Her arrival is a calculated move by the writers, a catalyst designed to ignite a dormant storyline. I firmly believe that Serena is not coming back alone. Her return is the key that unlocks the mystery of what truly happened to Sam. The writers are setting the stage for a monumental reveal, and Serena is the perfect, unexpected vessel to deliver the shock of a lifetime. Let us explore the domino effect of this incredible theory. Imagine Serena living her life far away from the chaos of Port Charles, perhaps working on a high-stakes medical or investigative project overseas. During her endeavors, she stumbles across a heavily encrypted file, a whisper in the dark web, or a patient log at a clandestine facility. She digs deeper, utilizing the sharp intellect inherited from her legacy family bloodline, and uncovers a massive, manipulative scheme. What she finds is a ghost. She finds proof that Sam did not die on that operating table or in that tragic accident. Instead, Sam was stolen. Serena realizes that the death was a meticulously orchestrated illusion, a smokescreen designed to kidnap Sam and keep her hidden from everyone who loves her. This single discovery is the first domino to fall, setting off a chain reaction that will shatter the lives of dozens of people back home. Why would someone take Sam? If you ask me, this reeks of an unholy alliance between some of the most dangerous factions we have ever seen. We know that the intelligence agencies have been compromised, with rogue operatives running amok and shadow organizations operating with impunity. Perhaps Sam stumbled onto a secret she was never meant to know, or perhaps she was taken as leverage by an enemy who was biding their time. Imagine Sam locked away in a sterile, windowless room, subjected to psychological manipulation, forced to live in the shadows while her family mourns her at a fake grave. The cruelty of this manipulative scheme is staggering. The perpetrators needed the world to believe she was dead so they could use her without interference. But they made one fatal miscalculation. They left a paper trail, and Serena found it. This is where the theory gets incredibly thrilling, guys. Serena does not just call the local authorities and hand over the evidence. She knows that involving official channels could get Sam killed instantly. Instead, Serena takes matters into her own hands. She orchestrates a covert, highly dangerous rescue mission. Picture Serena infiltrating this heavily guarded compound, navigating through armed guards and high-tech security systems, driven by the fierce loyalty that defines her legacy family. She finds Sam, battered but unbroken, and the two women must fight their way out. This is not just a reunion, it is a trial by fire. Serena transforms from a nostalgic legacy character into a bona fide action heroine, risking everything to bring Sam back to the light. The escape is narrow, fraught with peril, but they manage to slip through the fingers of their captors and board a plane back home. The second domino falls the moment Serena and Sam set foot in Port Charles. They do not announce their arrival. They do not walk through the front doors of the hospital. They arrive in secret, knowing that the unholy alliance that took Sam might still have eyes and ears in the city. But secrets this large cannot stay buried for long. The sheer magnitude of Sam walking into a room, breathing, speaking, and looking into the eyes of her loved ones will be the television event of the decade. But this joyous miracle carries a massive, destructive shockwave. The people of Port Charles have grieved, they have buried their pain, and they have attempted to move on. Tearing open those healed wounds will unleash a tsunami of emotional devastation and the collateral damage will be catastrophic. Let us look at the most immediate victim of this fallout, Dante. The poor man was absolutely shattered by the loss of Sam. He lost his compass, his partner, his future. Over the past few months, we have watched him slowly, agonizingly, try to piece his life back together. He has been confiding in Elizabeth, sharing intimate moments, and trusting her honesty. A deepening relationship has formed out of their shared trauma and mutual understanding. Dante is finally taking tentative steps toward a new life. Now, imagine the third domino crashing down on him. Dante walks into his living room, and there stands Sam. The woman he mourned, the woman he thought was lost to him forever, is alive. The psychological break this will cause Dante is unimaginable. How does a man reconcile the grief he has processed with the miraculous reality standing before him? And what about Elizabeth? If you ask me, Elizabeth is about to be trapped in a vicious cycle of heartbreak all over again. She has opened her heart to Dante, offering him a safe harbor in his darkest hours. If Sam returns, Elizabeth instantly becomes the third wheel in a tragic love triangle she never asked for. The domino effect crushes her newfound happiness. Dante will inevitably be drawn back to Sam, his loyalties violently torn between the woman who saved him from his grief and the woman who owns his soul. Elizabeth will be forced to step aside, swallowing her own pain while the town celebrates the miraculous return of Sam. It is a cruel twist of fate, a manipulative scheme by the universe that punishes Elizabeth for simply trying to love again. The emotional fallout between Dante, Sam, and Elizabeth will dominate the screen for months, leaving us in tears. The next domino crashes directly into Alexis and her daughters. Alexis has been holding on by a thread, trying to keep her family together while navigating her own complex relationship with Rick. Molly is stressed, questioning everything, and warning people at the police station about going off script. The family dynamic is fragile, a house of cards waiting for a strong breeze. When Sam reveals herself to Alexis, that house of cards will absolutely obliterate. Alexis will be consumed by a volatile mix of overwhelming joy and blinding rage. Rage at the universe, rage at the people who took her daughter, and rage at the lost time. The trauma of Sam's captivity will bleed into the family, forcing Alexis to abandon all her current priorities to protect her newly returned daughter. The shock will paralyze Molly, flipping her worldview upside down. The Legacy family will never be the same. We cannot discuss Sam without discussing Jason. Right now, Jason is fighting his own battles, currently in custody, waiting for the freedom that Jocelyn secretly brokered for him. Jason has been operating under the assumption that Sam is gone, carrying that heavy, silent guilt that defines his character. When the domino reaches Jason, it will ignite a fire in him that we have not seen in years. If Jason learns that Sam was held captive, that she was tortured and isolated by a hidden agenda, his quest for freedom will morph into a relentless quest for vengeance. Jason will not rest until every single person involved in that unholy alliance is put in the ground. The return of Sam will pull Jason back into the darkest parts of his enforcer persona, creating a tidal wave of violence that could consume Port Charles. And here is a twist that will make your blood run cold. We know that Anna is currently suffering from terrifying hallucinations of Peter, a ghost from the past leading her astray. What if Peter's influence is not just in Anna's mind? What if the manipulative scheme that stole Sam was orchestrated by the remnants of Peter's loyalists? A vicious cycle of pure terror that never truly died. If the organization holding Sam is tied to Peter's lingering empire, then Serena has just kicked a hornet's nest of epic proportions. Bringing Sam back to Port Charles might also bring the wrath of this dark syndicate right to their doorsteps. Anna's hallucinations might be a subconscious warning, a premonition that the evil Peter unleashed is about to manifest in the physical world once again. We must also consider the state of Sam herself. When Serena brings her back, this will not be the same confident, fearless investigator we remember. The trauma of being held captive, the psychological warfare she endured, will have changed her. The domino effect of her return will be felt in her own mind. She will struggle to reconnect with Dante, she will feel alienated from her children who have grown in her absence, and she will be haunted by the shadows of her captivity. Serena will have to act as her anchor, the only person who truly understands the horrors Sam faced, because Serena is the one who pulled her out of the fire. The bond between Serena and Sam will become a central pillar of the show, a testament to the strength of women surviving an unholy alliance. Think about the ripple effect this will have on the broader community of Port Charles. The hospital staff, the police department, and the local businesses will all be thrown into absolute chaos when the news breaks. People who attended Sam's memorial, who shed genuine tears and tried to honor her memory, will feel a bizarre mix of betrayal and elation. How do you look someone in the eye after you have stood over their empty grave? The psychological manipulation inflicted by this hidden agenda extends far beyond Sam. It has traumatized an entire town. Serena will inevitably face intense scrutiny. The authorities will demand to know how she managed to find Sam when multiple intelligence agencies failed, placing a massive target on Serena's back. She will no longer just be a legacy family member visiting home. She will be the woman who outsmarted an international syndicate, making her a permanent fixture in the dangerous underworld of Port Charles. Guys, if this theory holds true, we are looking at a storyline that will redefine this era of the show. Serena returning to Port Charles with a traumatized, very much alive Sam in tow is the kind of epic storytelling that made us fall in love with daytime television in the first place. It is a masterclass in the domino effect, where one secret unearths 100 more, destroying relationships, igniting wars, and resurrecting ghosts. The writers have the perfect opportunity to fix the massive mistake of Sam's exit, using Serena as the brilliant catalyst. The stage is set, the rumors are swirling, and the pieces are all in place for a late summer explosion that will leave us absolutely breathless. But the real mystery remains, hovering over this entire glorious theory. When the dust finally settles and the truth about Sam's fake death is dragged into the light, who will be left standing to face the wrath of the people who tried to bury her?